themselves.
Uh-oh.
Because we have a lot of them to go to on the topic.
Let them rock.
Let's play that.
No, this is not an SNL skit. This is a real politician.
Here to discuss the little Gazas that have risen up on campuses across America.
Damn.
And the liberal college administrators and politicians who refuse to restore law and order and to protect other students. These little Gazas are disgusting cesspools of anti-Semitic hate, full of pro-Hamas sympathizers, fanatics, and freaks. The terrorist sympathizers in these little Gazas aren't peacefully protesting Israel's conduct of the war. They're violently
Hey, stop. So now, I'm telling you how evil these people are. Now, keep in mind, he call them terrorists. He call them murder. What does he call them? Genocidal.
Hamas sympathizers.
I mean, sympathizers,
Little
right?
Gazas.
Now,
Sound like they're talking about the black communities in
Yes.
this country.
Now,
they
listen to
speak
this,
about
right?
us the same way.
Hamas killed 1,200. That's what they say. They killed 38,000.
Right.
They killed 38,000, bro.
You're anti-Semitic.
So
if you say that.
who's the murderer? Who's the genocidal maniac?
Right.
I'm telling you, these people. Oh God.
Right. Play the video.
demanding death for Israel, just like their ideological twins, the Ayatollahs in Iran.
So I did a little bit of digging on our buddy here, Tom Cotton, and I wanted to see who's donating the most money to this guy.
Yep.
Number one on the list is Apollo Global Management with $77,000 in the last 4 years. Interesting. What is this? Apollo accused in lawsuit of illegal human life wagering schemes? Interesting. Well, let's see who the owner of Apollo is. Mark Rowan is co-founder and chief executive. What is this?
He is.
Wow.
He is Jewish.
Yep. He's Amalek.
Okay. Go ahead.
Wow. Oh, and I can do this for almost any politician out there who's repeating the same exact line, if you know what I mean. And the fact that all of you guys are sitting back and saying nothing about all this while these guys are being paid for by a certain group just goes to show that you guys are all pawns. I've said it before and I'll say it again. America first. America first. If you don't like it, get the hell out of here.
All right. To hell with that last part. Go to the video with the guy, and I believe he had a black hat on. Real quick. Okay. Press the arrow. Press it. Thank you.
I have to say these 10 cities that they're building, these 10 cities that they're building across college campuses are crazy, but are really well organized. And you know I had to look into this to understand who's behind all of this and who's paying all these people. I have to be honest, what I found was not really shocking, but I was surprised by how similar it is to the BLM summer riots of 2020. You see, these encampments are actually
The BLM
really well
summarizes the Black Lives Matter. Same thing. Go ahead.
organized. The students receive the tents from organizers that also supply a bunch of different food like pizzas, rotisserie chicken, coffee. So I looked into who these three prominent groups. Students for Justice in Palestine, there's Within Our Lifetime, and then there's Jewish Voices for Peace. And these groups are actually led and organized by another organization called U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights. And just guess how much these fellas are paid. They get $7,800 if they work 8 hours a week on some kind of Palestinian campaign. Makes you rethink what the hell you're doing with.
Make a whole living off of that.
Hold on.
The hell?
More than a living.
You don't find that
$7,800 a week?
You don't find that
Holy crap.
suspicious?
Okay.
Damn, what did I was writing something. What did he say?
Play it again for Bishop.
Go back a little bit.
Run it back for Bishop.
There's Jewish Voices for Peace. And these groups are actually led and organized by another organization called U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights. And just guess how much these fellas are paid. They get $7,800 if they work 8 hours a week on some kind of Palestinian campaign.
Wow. That's $195 an hour.
That's a setup, bro.
Get money.
Damn. Go ahead, play it.
to rethink what the hell you're doing with your life. And across these campuses, we've seen these fellows speak out at various events. Nita Laffey, Craig Morton, Malik Afina. So where the hell does USCPR even get this money to pay these fellows that much money? And who funds Students for Justice in Palestine and these other organizations? Here's where it really gets interesting. Almost all of their funding comes from rich, elite investors such as George Soros, Howard Horowitz, and members of the Rockefeller family. And isn't that ironic on its own? You see, George Soros' Open Society Foundation, along with Rockefeller's Brother Fund, gave $700,000 to these organizations. And we know now that the Open Society Foundation isn't run by George Soros anymore. It's actually run by his brother Alex Soros and his partners Huma Abedin, with direct ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now, the Open Society Foundation also funneled $20 million into the Tide Foundation. And the Tide Foundation takes this money and disperses it across all of these organizations across the U.S. They funnel money into Westpac, which is an organization that is led by Howard Horowitz. And Westpac is actually the fiscal sponsor for Within Our Lifetime. And guess what? All of these organizations have direct ties to the 2020 Summer Love riots. So the question I have to ask is why? Why now? Why again in the summer before a presidential election?
So, you heard Jewish Foundation for this, George Soros and his brother. These are all Amalekites. Why would Amalekites be funding, giving tents, paying $7,800 a week, giving water, food to all of these so-called, who he called Hamas sympathizers? Remember, that's what that politician said. These are all Hamas sympathizers. They're terrorists, so on and so forth. But the people funding his campaign is also funding those people he's deeming to be terrorists on college campuses.
It's not a coincidence.
It's like they're paying for both sides of the war.
That's what they